And now we are at number one, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what number one is. And if you know what it is, I'm sorry to be so obvious, but if you don't, number one, of course, is the greatest animated film of all time, released in 1994. We're talking about The Lion King. That's right, The Lion King, the overall highest grossing 2D animated film of all time. One of the greatest animated films, if not the greatest animated film of all time. And I'll tell you, I said Beauty and the Beast was perfect. Lion King was just as perfect. And the reason I say just as is because it must have had a flaw. Because according to some people, even though it's the greatest animated feature of all time, it probably had one or two flaws that prevented it from doing what Beauty and the Beast couldn't do, and that's win Best Picture. No, it wasn't nominated for Best Picture, but maybe it had one or two flaws in it that prevented it from getting a nomination and then probably winning. But what can you say about The Lion King that has not been said already? Songs, terrific, whether you like them or not. Characters, unique and grand. Overall movie itself, huge. I mean, you want to do, I guess you could say, an anamorphic, kind of kid-friendly adaptation of Hamlet, if you will, with The Lion King. Disney did a great job. I'm not denying. I will not lie about that. They did a great job. I remember when me and my dad first saw this at the theaters in Topeka, Kansas. You know, they did the intro. You know, the sun comes up and everything, and as soon as you see them coming up to the horizon and right up to, as soon as you see, I think, Zazu flying right up to Pride Rock where it is, you see Pride Rock just appear. You know, you get like almost a zoom in. I mean, I remember when that opening sequence happened, first see Pride Rock, like I'm trying to say, people were just clapping. I mean, I remember it so well. People were clapping in the theaters. They loved that. And to me, that's kind of rare when an audience claps the intro to an animated film or any film. But I thought, I thought it was just an unbelievable. To me, I thought it was an unbelievable moment. I'm not sure if any of you've experienced that when it first came out, but maybe you did. But I'm telling you, folks, if this film is just an unbelievable granddaddy of films. I mean, this is the Super Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the WrestleManias, the Bound for Glories, the Starrcades, the NBA Finals, the World Series, the Stanley Cup of animated films all rolled into one. That's how good this is. I mean, the story is terrific. I mean, I love the fact. I mean, Simba's character is so well done. It's like it's like he just cannot contemplate. Did he or did he not do what he thinks he's done? You know, he's contemplating. Should he go? Should he go back? Should he not go back? I mean, it's just unbelievable when you got all the characters trying to convince him to do one thing and do another. You got Timon and Pumbaa, two of the funniest Disney characters I've seen in a while, convincing him, hey, don't worry about it. Whatever you did in the past is in the past. You can move forward and have a new life, do a Hakuna Matata. And then you got Nala, who's his best friend as a young girl, and then becomes his wife, if you will, later on, his lover, trying to convince him, look, we need you. We need you back at Pride Rock. We need you to be the king. We need you to help us. And then it finally takes Rafiki and then the spirit of Mufasa himself to let Simba know, hey, you need to go back. You need to, learn from your mistakes. And to me, it's just done perfectly. Now, some people may nitpick at the fact that his past, if you will, that he's trying to learn from, kind of surface itself or makes itself known again during his encounter with Scar at first. But you take that out. I mean, but you take that out, everything else is great. I mean, and if you think about it, Scar doing what he did by making Simba kind of cower again, if you will, make that past and make that guilt come back out. That was needed because it made Scar get so cocky and confident that Scar revealed the truth, and that gave Simba the courage to finally stand up to Scar and finally get Scar to admit that Scar, was the one that killed Mufasa. But besides that, I mean, and then after that, the fight scene, the climax, I mean, unbelievably. I mean, everything near perfection, if you will, with this film. It's no wonder people looking at it as the greatest of all time. And that's all I can say about The Lion King. And I hope you all enjoyed this top 15 countdown of the best, in my opinion, best Disney animated movies. So comment down below, tell me what you think, and I'll talk to y'all later.